Hello, my name is Melinda and I am seeking a degree in counseling. I received my bachelor's degree in human services from the University of Phoenix. My learning experience at this university was positive, and I look forward to continuing my education here. Tonight, I will be doing a presentation on self-analysis and professional identity. My instructor is Victoria Cameron, and she is a licensed marriage and family therapist. The agenda for tonight is as follows. You have already heard my introduction. Next, you will hear why I want to be a counselor. We're going to talk a little bit about my early years, the Sunshine Band, Lancaster School District, professional identity as a counselor, personality characteristics that's needed in order to be an effective counselor, and the graduate activities. Following will be my closing. My early years. Helping others in my early years came natural to me. One of the things that I wound up doing was helping in the second grade. I was allowed to help the other students that were in my classroom because I would always finish my work before everyone else. And so they allowed me to help other students within my class, and then they began sending me over to other classrooms in order to help those students. I liked the way it felt. I liked helping the students, and they seem to learn really fast. Helping students seem to gravitate to getting that experience a little bit easier. I also had an experience with working with elderly people that were in no relationships to me. Some of them were, some of them were not. I just was the type of person that just gravitated towards going to people's houses, especially elderly, going in and just coming in the door made them feel warm. They welcomed me. They just liked me being there. So I enjoyed going, and that was some of the things that I did. I started a business at 12 years old. I started my own business because we moved into an area that was not really a very good area. Let me just say it like that. I'm from Oakland, California. We moved to West Oakland on 14th and Peralta, the heart of the ghetto. Okay, so I hate to say it like that, but that's exactly what it was, and I saw a great need over there. I started a business where I allowed parents to bring their children to me, and they could bring them on a Friday, and I only charged them $5 if the children did not stay all night. If they stayed all night, they need to give me $10. And next thing I knew, I had a house full of kids and parents giving me money. I was actually watching kids that were older than me. And I wound up hiring staff as a young person, and Saturday would come, and the money I was making, I wound up taking the children to like Fairyland, the zoo, the museum, and it just exploded. And it exploded to the point where my mother had to get involved. She already was kind of involved because she had to supervise the fact that I had all these kids in the house. But she had to really get involved because she noticed that I didn't actually have any money, because the money that I was getting, I was paying staff and then taking care of the kids. Staff was not helping me to pay for the other children. That's not what was taking place. It was my money. So my mom talked to me, and she told me, she said, Melinda, why don't you find out from the parents if they can pay for the extracurricular activities for their kids, and if they can't, we'll cover the ones that are not able to pay. And so we decided to do that, and everything worked out. That's my personality characteristics differing when I'm talking about the fact that I had people that just didn't agree with what I was doing. They felt like we should just take the money and send the kids back, and I just did not feel like that. While I was also 12 years old, I'm at the PowerPoint of knowing my limitations. I ran into a situation. The situation at hand was that I winded up at someone's house that the adult was not really doing the things that she needed to do as an adult, meaning that she allowed children to come in her house, drink, smoke, marijuana, whatever. She was heavily using drugs at the time. Her choice of drugs was crack cocaine, and she had children. And I winded up in her house. And while I was there with some people that I needed not be there, I was not on these drugs at that particular time. I was just there just because I was with some older people, older siblings and cousins. And there was a little girl that was there. And this little girl winded up walking into the living room. I'll never forget, I was 12, she was 2. She walked into the living room, and just like everyone is sitting in a circle, that's kind of the way it was at this house. It was just a group of young people, young and old to be exact, sitting in the house. And the little girl started walking up to different individuals, and as she walked up, she said, I don't like you. And they paid her no attention. And then she walked to the next person, and she said, I don't like you. And they paid her no attention. And when she got around to me, she said, I don't like you. And I said, I don't like you either. She said, I like you. I said, I like you too. So I didn't know at that time that I was modeling. And she gravitated towards me at that particular time. I was 12. And honestly speaking, she's 30 now. Oh, I'm telling my age, okay? And I just really didn't understand that at that time that I was only 10 years older than her because she was with me all the time. People started saying I was her godmother. I did not even know what it was to really be a godmother. The only thing I knew is that this little girl kind of became mine because I felt the need to continue to help her. Let's go back to the Sunshine Band. I have to go backwards because some of this is a little out of place, but that's okay. We're going to work with it. The Sunshine Band is an auxiliary that I wound up working with as I got older. The ages for Sunshine Band is 12 and under. Now, the Sunshine Band was actually created in the early 1900s. I did not implement the Sunshine Band. I am not the founder of it. It was founded by a lady by the name of Dr. Lydia Howard. With the Sunshine Band, I was given the opportunity to work with children on a local level, on a state level, and on an international level. I was given the ability, or let's say I was given the reins to be able to do whatever I wanted to do with this group, and while I was given those reins, I planned camping trips for them. I took them just like I did with the business when I was younger. Now I was older and I was able to do a whole lot more. So not only did they have the camping trips, but I was able to just build into their lives while they were at that productive stage. And we had the sunbeams, the sun rays, and illuminators. Sunbeams is ages 2 through 6. Sun rays is 7 through 9. Illuminators is 10 through 12. So wherever they were at, I was able to work with them in their respective places. Oh, I said we did the 5 days of fun. 5 days of fun was when a child got A's, 5 A's or more on their report card. I took them to 5 different places in that day. That would be Chuck E. Cheese, skating ring, Krispy Kreme at the time. Anybody that was honoring report cards, I found all of those places to make sure that they can honor them. We had the Sunshine Band Smash. I was able to put that together, where we had water slides and dunk tanks, and we just did all these different things that was able to keep the children interested in something other than getting involved in things that could be detrimental to their health. There was no check for this that I was doing. This was all done just because I was just doing it. So that was just donating my time, basically doing it just because I just love to do it. I did sometimes receive love offerings, and I was very appreciative of that, the love offerings that came. Lancaster School District. As an adult, I was hired by the Lancaster School District. I first started working with a young man that had Williams syndrome. While I worked with him, we were working one-on-one, and everything was going well, but he graduated and went on to high school. During this time, there were a lot of budget cuts, and because there were a lot of budget cuts, a lot of people was losing their jobs. But the Lancaster School District said, we don't want you to not be an employee of ours. We'd like to keep you. We're going to send you over to a school that's called Crossroads. Now, Crossroads is a school where children get kicked out the public school, so it's a continuation school. And they get kicked out for various reasons. We know that they can be kicked out for bringing drugs to school or fighting or inappropriate sexual behavior in school. But they sent me over there and they told me, don't worry, we're going to get you out within 2 weeks. We'll have you out of there and place you into a school that's a little less challenging. What they didn't know was that Crossroads was just the type of place that I would like to be. So they called me within a week and they said, Melinda, we found a position for you at Joshua Elementary School working with the first graders. My response was, can I stay at Crossroads? They said, you want to stay at Crossroads? Nobody ever wants to stay at Crossroads. I said, well, I would like to stay at Crossroads. I had job security because they were right. I had a lady one time come to do my job and went to lunch and she never came back. She just went to lunch and left my baby. It was challenging. One of the things that I did with my students, because I understood their desire to run people off, I was very real with them, with my life experiences. I didn't give them more than they could handle, but I gave them exactly what they needed so that we would be on the same plane. And as far as them fighting, I didn't have fights a lot around me because I told them I am not security. I do not have any type of badges on me. I don't have weapons. I'm not here to restrain you. Please do not fight in my presence because I have to go back home and I'm not getting beat up because, I'm trying to break up a fight. Here's the thing. Let me tell you how I will help you. And I told them this. If you're in a situation where someone is trying to fight you and you are absolutely trying to avoid that fight at all costs, I will physically stand in front of you and, whoa, unto the person that's trying to hit you, that hits me trying to get to you. I won't let you get into a fight. But if you're in a situation where you're going back and forth, I'm not getting hit. That's not my job description. My boss understood that. Everything worked out. And the reality of it is I did not have fights in my classroom like that because they understood. We had an understanding of what's going on. Instead, I entered him into contests and events, lots of contests and events. And we would win so many things. It was wonderful. And so one of the things that was happening was that as we was entering these contests and events, we would get awards, monetary, and awards like from Michael Antonovich. We had a lot of different things, accolades that was coming in from different people. We winded up with posters and banks and everything because we were just working. And all of this was extra, but I just love to help. I'm sorry, I skipped one of my little slides here, becoming a Crossroads baby. That's when you come over to Crossroads and instead of you mainstreaming back to your regular school, you actually want to stay at Crossroads. We call you a Crossroads baby. Let me get to my professional identity as a counselor because my time is running out. Let's talk about my strengths. I got passion. I do. I got passion. My desire is to work. This is what I do. It's what I love to do. I'm non-judgmental. I'm willing to learn. I follow rules, and I don't mind following the proper chain of commands. I'm not ever trying to jump over anybody to get to. If I'm not allowed to do it, I just can't do it. It just won't be done. But if you give me the permission, I'm going to take it and I'm going to run with it. My weakness, sometimes I'm afraid of failure. And when I'm afraid of failure, sometimes I won't do what I really want to set out to do because I'm afraid that it's not going to succeed. Also, acknowledging my accomplishments. Sometimes I don't want to talk about, I don't really want to talk about myself. It seems like boastful, so I have to know that the fine line right there, because I really don't talk about myself. To be honest with you, this is like the most I've had to do with this is self-analysis. Dealing with death. Oh my God, that is just not something that I really like to do because to me it's almost as if though there's not words that you can say. Now there are people that's able to do it, they're good at it. I need to be trained with how to do that. I need to learn how to do it. But when you have a loss, somebody saying anything to you, in my opinion, is not going to take away what you're feeling for that particular loss. I lost my father. Nobody can tell me anything that's going to make me not hurt for losing my father, and I feel the same way about talking to somebody else. However, there are professionals that know exactly how to deal with that, and so I see it as a weakness of mine because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to tell you I know how you feel because you may have felt different about your loved one than I felt about my loved one, so that's another weakness that I have. And asking questions when I feel like everybody else understands what's going on. I have a real difficult time with that. When everybody looks like they got it, and I'm sitting there and I don't got it. I don't know what y'all talking about, and I don't want to raise my hand and say, I don't know. I don't want to do that. That's a weakness for me. So I sit there and I'm like, Lord, I hope somebody asks a question and try to figure out what's going on. So that's a weakness for me. Let's see here. My personality characteristics, I'm honest. Grew up where neither one of my parents ever lied to me. I don't know, it's been like, some people don't even believe that, but neither one of my parents lied to me. They never said they was taking me somewhere and didn't take me. They never said they was buying me something and didn't buy it. They just didn't lie to me. Decorum. I try to know how to act in a setting. I don't want to embarrass myself. I'm not trying to embarrass you, and I don't want to embarrass me. So I like to be professional, and I like to have integrity. And what I look to do, should I get this counseling degree? I would like to work in a nonprofit organization because, like I said, we're working with the Sunshine Band as a nonprofit organization. You have a lot of reign. It's a lot that you can do. They're looking for people to help. They want you to come in and they want you to do different things. They want you to implement and facilitate. And so it's a lot. But at the end, when it's all said and done, I'd like to have a private practice. I'd like my private practice to be on some land that I own, so I have a little cottage somewhere where it's nice and everything looks beautiful, and I can come help you right out there, and then I can go right on back into my home. And I believe that concludes everything. My closing remarks is, in my closing, I would like to thank everyone who has taken time to listen to my personal analysis presentation. Thank you.